What's going on out there? I'm your host, Talking Face, and this could be news brought to you by Royal Family Studios. If you can, please like and share our content and subscribe to our page. In the midst of this crisis, as in other times of turmoil, we begin to see the best out of people. People becoming more charitable, helping out others, older people, sickly people. Also, being aware of their hygiene and taking care of themselves. I mean, even President Trump has slowed down on the crazy tweets. In every turmoil, we see the worst in people. There was an actual individual who derailed a train, an actual train, and tried to ram it into the hospital ship because of a conspiracy theory. Like, I don't even know how to make stuff up like that. But he's not the only one that's going crazy. News media is just doing nothing but fear-mongering, trying to freak people completely out, trying to stir up panic. And a lot of people are starting to notice it. Except them for some reason, even when caught in their own lie.
You were talking about governors of different states, and you said, I want them to be appreciative. You also said, if they don't treat you right, I don't call. These are direct quotes, sir.
Excuse me, ready? Take a look at what I said. I want them to be appreciative of me, okay? And then you cut it off because it's fake news.
You and of your administration,
Listen,
absolutely.
Please, let me just finish. You just said it again, and you know the answer's a lie. You know
I could read you your full comments, sir,
let me
if
just
that
say,
would be easier.
Your statement and your response and your answer is a lie. Because here's the story. You ready? I said, I want you to be appreciative of me, and then you go on, and then I go on, and you cut it off. But it says
you said,
because
I
when
want
you're
them
not...
to be appreciative. I don't want them to say things that aren't true. I want them to be appreciative. We've done a great job. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about Mike Pence, the task force. I'm talking about FEMA, the Army Corps of Engineers.
Thank you.
You see what I mean? He read the transcript and was still willing to continue with that narrative because the media, for some reason right now, and leftist politicians blame Trump for the China virus, even though the China virus comes from China. I don't get it. But yet they're defending China. How could you be an American citizen, call yourself an American, and defend communist China, who hates us, and be upset with the president of the United States because you want to blame him for the disease because you said that he didn't do enough? I don't get it. The government received information about the coronavirus, aka the Kung Flu, back in January. But in January, early February, the country was a little busy and the news media was a little distracted because something was going on earlier this year. I just can't remember what it was. What was going on during that time?
Senator Cotton, Politico yesterday recognized him as the first to the bell. In your experience in the Senate, was Senator Cotton the first one to say, hey, leader, hey, Mitch, this is a deadly situation. I do not trust the Chinese. Was he first?
He was first. I think Tom was right on the mark, and it came up while we were, tied down in the impeachment trial. And I think it diverted the attention of the government because everything, every day was all about impeachment. But Tom figured this out early, and he was absolutely right.
The news media steady harasses Trump, saying that he didn't act fast enough, quick enough to respond to the issue at hand. And they're still upset because they said that Donald Trump called this whole thing a hoax. Or did he?
Now the Democrats are politicizing the coronavirus. You know that, right? Coronavirus. They're politicizing it. We did one of the great jobs. You say, how's President Trump doing? They go, oh, not good, not good. They have no clue. They don't have any clue. They can't even count their votes in Iowa. They can't even count. No, they can't. And this is their new hoax. But, we did something that's been pretty amazing. We're 15 people in this massive country. And because of the fact that we went early, we could have had a lot more than that. We will do everything in our power to keep the infection and those carrying the infection from entering our country. We have no choice. Whether it's the virus that we're talking about or many other public health threats, the Democrat policy of open borders is a direct threat to the health and well-being of all Americans.
Oh yeah, Trump's daily briefings are at 5 o'clock. Highest rated show on television right now. He didn't call it a hoax. He said that the coronavirus and how the media was pushing it, trying to politicize it, was the Democrats' new hoax. Just pretty much like how they did with the Russia scandal and the Ukraine call. He understood that the virus is real, but he understands as well that it was going to be weaponized by the left and the media. That's not wrong to say. It's really the truth, because that's exactly what they've been doing this whole time. But it's funny how they attack Trump, but they don't attack Mayor Bill de Blasio the same way. Because we all know that, as he said in his tweet, not to worry about the coronavirus and go to the movies a couple days before the NBA shut down. But when asked about this, he had something really interesting to say
about this, and I loved his response.
In retrospect, is that message, at least in part, to blame for how rapidly the virus has spread across the city?
Jake, we should not be focusing, in my view, on anything looking back on any level of government right now. This is just about how we save lives going forward. We all were working, everybody was working with the information we had and trying, of course, to avoid panic. And at that point, for all of us, trying to keep, not only protect lives, but keep the economy and the livelihoods together.
Oh, you don't want to look back on the past issues, huh? That's rather convenient. Everything's always pretty convenient for Democrats, especially when you have the media in your back pocket. Donald Trump didn't say or do anything close to what Bill de Blasio said. Or Nancy Pelosi, because she was telling people to go to Chinatown. I don't get it. But I do agree with what he says. People don't need to panic. And we shouldn't be trying to force people to panic. CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC. Cool heads will always prevail in times like this. You remember when this whole thing started, they predicted that 2.2 million people would die in this country from the coronavirus. And now, because of actual quick action by the president and the people in office, the newest number says that we could reach up to 100 to 200,000 deaths. Now, that is way better than 2.2 million that the media helped spread. But it's still not good enough, and it still feels like false hope.
In the 7 years I have covered the White House, that is the most stunning briefing that I've ever sat through, to have public health officials come in and try to explain to the American people that they need to come to grips with the fact, or the very strong likelihood that we're going to see 100 to 200,000 Americans die over the next couple of months from the coronavirus. I have to tell you, it was just downright chilling.
Can we say fear-mongering? To be honest, the news network should be sued for pretty much malpractice. They're spreading a whole lot of misinformation to stir up panic. And it's just terrible. It's just so terrible. But people, you got to understand this. Nobody honestly knows what's going on. The reason why data is changing is because more information is coming in, so the data will change. But you should see, obviously, that is a good thing. From almost 2.5 million people could have died from this, down to 100,000. It's sad that people are going to die, but the numbers should give you at least a little relief. Don't spend your time watching the news or just reading headlines from newspaper articles or things that you see on social media. Take your time, do the research yourself, listen to what the health officials are saying, and listen to President Trump, because he's relaying the right message. Stay safe, stay clean, stay prayed up. Please subscribe and like our page. Peace.